All right, let's do our usual get in the zone. I'll let you mute yourself and get back in the sitting position. Let's find a sitting position that's relaxed yet alert. Okay. Lengthen your spine, sit nice and tall. Plug the crown of your head up towards your ceiling. Close your eyes, and let's do our three centering breaths together. So breathe into the nose. And as you breathe out through the mouth, long and controlled exhale. Let the shoulders relax. Sink into your sitting position. All right, next breath in. Breathe into the nose. Really fill your lungs. Let the belly expand. Then long breath out. All right, one more deep breath together. Let's breathe into the nose. And then really settle in here as you breathe out. And then assume a normal breathing pattern. And let's relax our whole body, head to toe. So start with our face, so the forehead, iron out any wrinkles. Let your eyelids relax even more. Okay. Down to your cheeks and your jaw. And then working our way down to our neck. Notice where the neck attaches to your shoulders and your body. Now let's breathe in through the arms, from the shoulders, down to your biceps and triceps, your forearms, all the way to your hands. And then notice how your hands feel, whether they're relaxed on your knees or clasped gently in your lap. Just breathing. And we'll work our way back to our torso. So once again, notice how your chest feels as you breathe. As it expands and contracts. Okay, down to your stomach. Maybe feeling your coffee digest. And then on to the lower half of our body. So notice how your bottom feels against your mat. Okay, through your hamstrings, your quads. Maybe you're sitting cross-legged like me. So down to your knees and your shins. Notice how your shins touch your feet. Notice your feet against your mat. Okay, all the while still breathing gently. Chest expanding and contracting. Nice and easy. Maybe notice noises around you, the rest of your house waking up, or your neighbors exiting their house. Just letting those things be as we continue to relax further. And in this last little bit, I want you to just sit here and do nothing at all. Just take it all in. All right, let's take one deep breath together before we open up our eyes. So breathe into the nose, hold the breath at the top. And when you hear the singing bowl, let's open up our eyes and exhale. Ooh. I'm gonna hop off my block. All right, let's start with a side stretch. So let's reach both arms up. Okay, really reach for the ceiling. Feel those shoulders. And then start on the right. So plant that right palm on your mat. The left arm is over your body, reaching for the upper right hand corner of the room. Keeping that left sit bone planted. Feel the stretch go all the way down your side. And then connect the breath with the movement. So as you breathe in, let's reach the right arm back up. And then exhale as that left arm goes down. Oh, okay, turn the chin up towards the inside of the right elbow. I'm definitely feeling all the things I've lifted. Okay, remember an active stretch, so constantly reach with that right arm. Oof. Okay, let's breathe in as you bring the left arm back up top. And then exhale as you bring the hands back to center. All right, let's do what's it called? A spinal stretch. So let's twist clockwise. Ooh, noticing all the fog behind you, behind me. I can't even see the crane anymore of the construction site. Anyhow, turn the chin in towards the right shoulder, looking behind you, pressing both palms. And every time you exhale, see if you can twist a couple more degrees. And let's get a deep breath in. And as you breathe out, unwind, come back to center. Let's get the other side. So twisting, the other direction. Right palm is pressed into the left knee. Left palm or left fingertips are pressed into the ground behind you. Okay, same thing, unwinding in the other direction, or twisting in the other direction, I should say. Move. And then let's take a deep breath in on this side. And as we breathe out, let's gently unwind, come back to center. Oh, all right, let's do the inner thighs. So let's do our cobbler pose, so feet together. Ooh, pulling your heels in to start, letting the knees drop, and then just lean forward. And maybe notice all the calluses on your toes. Why not? Ooh. Okay, continue to lean forward, bringing your belly button towards your heels, letting the knees drop further. And let's take a deep breath in once again. And as you breathe out, reach your hands in front of you and round out your back. Oof. Really feel those inner thighs. Ooh. Hello. All right, let's sit back up here. Bring the knees back together. Oh, and let's slowly stand up, getting ready for My favorite hamstring stretch. This is going to be, ooh, I can already tell this is going to be a lot for me. But that's okay. Find a nice wide stance, toes facing forward, keeping the legs straight. Arms slowly reach up. And then as you breathe out, swan dive forward. Ooh, feeling everything. Lower back, hamstrings. Ooh. Using your hands or fingertips to support you on the ground. Looking back towards the back of the room behind you. And if you want a little more action, just release the pressure on your hands. Let the weight of your upper body do the work. Let gravity take over. Ooh. All right, let's clasp our hands behind us and then see how far up or towards the front of the room you can reach those hands. Oh, letting the hamstrings stretch even deeper. Let's gently release the hands. Let's plant the right palm on the floor and then rotate the left arm up, turning the chin up towards the ceiling as well. Okay, think of the vertical line with your arms, opening up your chest and left shoulder. Ooh. And then deep breath in here. Then as you breathe out, gently lower that left arm, taking your time, swapping palms. Right arm is now rotating up towards the ceiling. Give me a nice reach with those right fingertips as you press into the ground, the left hand, the left palm. And then deep breath in here. And let's exhale, gently dropping that right arm back to down to the ground. We're feeling those hamstrings. We're still hanging out. All right, from here, we're going to rotate 90 degrees into a lunge. Okay. So we're on the right foot, left heel up and off the ground. And then from here, we're going to lower the left knee down to the ground and bring your arms and torso up. Let's stretch out our left hip. So rotate your hip forward, gentle movement. You can add the left arm if you want to hold from the top and the bottom. We're going to hold this one for a slow 10 count. I need it this week. I mean, I always need it, but particularly this week. So let's do 1 and 2. Remember, it's an active stretch, so keep on pushing it as far as you can. It's comfortable. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We'll lower my left arm. Bring my arms back down. Okay. Back on the left toes. Moving the left knee off the mat. And then gently rotate back towards the long side of your mat. Return to the hamstring stretch momentarily. And then rotating to the left 90 degrees. We're in a lunge. Let's lower the right knee and tuck the right toes. Bring the arms and torso up. Wow, I already feel the right hip. Hello. Okay. I'm going to raise the right arm. Continue to stretch the right hip. And let's repeat those 10 seconds on this side. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, oof, and 10. Hands and torso back down to the ground. Let's get back on those right toes, lifting the right knee, back in the lunge. And gently rotating back to the long side of the mat. Okay, let's enjoy this last little bit of this hamstring stretch. Hopefully starting to open up a little bit. Okay. And then slow 10 count to straighten up our body. So let the upper body dangle. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Straighten up my legs. Let's do a standing side stretch. So feet together or feet slightly apart, whatever feels comfortable. Stand up nice and tall. And then look up as you reach both arms up towards the ceiling. Okay. Really reach those fingertips towards the ceiling. And then we're going to start on the left. So left arm comes down, kicking out the right hip, turning the chin up towards the ceiling. And we're reaching. Oh my goodness. Okay, same thing as the sitting version. Active, stretch, reach with those right fingertips. Feel the stretch all the way down to your right hip. Then bring the left arm back up. Reach both arms, hands towards the ceiling. Dropping the right arm down now, kicking out the left hip. Turning the chin and looking up. Ugh. Ugh. Okay, returning the right arm back up to the top. Take a deep breath in. And as you breathe out, bring the hands gently back to center. And we're going to keep them there as we transition to Malasana. So only moving the lower half of your body on a medium width stance, toes facing out. And then lowering ourselves down. Oof. As far as your body allows. Ooh. Go for another slow 5 count here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Put your hands on your legs if you need to. Oh, hello. Feeling good. All right, we're gonna do shoulders, triceps, and then split leg hamstring stretch. So pick a side. I'm gonna start with my left arm across the top of your chest. Feeling the stretch go through your left shoulder. Ooh. Getting ready for those downward dogs. I am anyways, mentally. Let's switch sides. Ooh. And maybe get your head and chin out of the way so you can stretch your arm or shoulder a little bit further. All right, and then releasing that arm. Let's get the left arm behind the head, pulling on the left shoulder. Ooh. Switching sides to the right. Mm. All right, let's release that right side. Let's do a split leg hamstring stretch. So face the short side of your mat. And I'm gonna start with my left, but I guess it doesn't really matter. Heels are in line, left toes facing forward. Arms are back up towards the ceiling. And then as you breathe out, swan dive over the straight left leg, driving the right hip towards the left ankle. Ooh. Okay, keeping the left leg straight. Ooh. Yeah. Ooh. Okay, hopefully that left hamstring is starting to really open up here. And to exit, let's bend the left knee and come on up. I'm gonna rotate 180 degrees. Ooh. All right, so right leg is in front, heels are in line, arms are back up top, and then swan dive over the straight right leg. I'm gonna use my block this week for a little support. Ugh. And just like the other side, I'm going to drive my left knee towards the front ankle, feeling a little bit more of a pinch in the right hamstring. Can almost touch my nose to my knee. So close, yet so far. And let's bend the right knee. Come on up. And we'll stretch out our necks. All right, so let's do the chicken wing. So I'm going to grab my left wrist behind my back, dropping the head to the chicken wing side. Ooh. Okay. Think about trying to touch your right ear to your right shoulder, feeling the left side of your neck. And then let's gently tilt our head back and look up. And then rotate the head forward as you look down. Okay, back to the center position. Back straight up and switch sides. Let's grab our right wrist behind our back, dropping the head over to the left. Ooh. Oh, I'm going to hold this middle position for a little bit longer. It seems like my neck needs it. And then gently rotating the head forward. Let's rotate it back as we look up. Ooh. Right, and then back to the neutral position. And then back to center, and then you release that right wrist. Now let's do another neck stretch. So take your hands and fingers, pretend you're plugging them into the ground, trying to stretch all the muscles at the base of your neck, and then drop your chin to the top of your chest. You feel that towards the back of your neck, and let's rotate the head to the right. Okay, and then roll your head over to the left. And then keep in contact with your chin and the top of your neck. And then go at your own pace. I'll call it out if you want to stay with me, but find that tight spot, or tight spots, and back to the right. But again, feel free to go at your own pace, find it. Ooh. Hopefully your neck is not making too much noise, but you're feeling the stretch. I'm over to the left. Okay, I'm going to do one more cycle for each side. I'm rolling the head to the right. Ooh. One more time to the left. Ooh. All right, and then rolling the head to center and back up top. And then you release the hands. All right. Oh, I'm gonna move my block real quick. We'll start our moving option. So come to the front of your mat, stand up nice and tall, reach both arms up. Okay, let's do 2 warm-up swan dives. So swan dive down. Okay, try to reach those toes, reach the ground, up to flat back. And then exhale, reverse swan dive. Okay, that's 1. Hands are at the top. Let's swan dive down, back is straight. Okay, the ground's a little bit closer this time. Up to flat back. Exhaling, eyes up, head up, reverse swan dive. Hands at the top, and then we'll start. Swan dive down. Ooh. Up to flat back. Exhaling, let's plant both palms and slowly step back to a plank position. Let's chaturanga down and find our first upward dog of the day. Okay, back to plank, push up here if you like. Away to downward dog. All right, feel those calves. Push the floor away with those palms. Ooh. All right, let's focus on each calf individually. So let's bend the left knee and drive that right heel down. If you want a little more weight, you can put the left foot on the right heel. That's optional. The important part is feel the stretch on the right calf. I'm going to return my left foot to the ground and switch sides. So bend your right knee, adding the right foot if that's an option for you. Breathing, stretching, hearing the other people in our house eat breakfast. All right, let's go back to the right. So bending the left knee, feeling the right calf. Okay, those shoulders are starting to feel it, but in a good way. They're firing up. We love that. All right, back to the left for the last single-sided stretch. All right, I'm gonna find the ground with my right foot into a neutral downward dog. We're gonna do a sun salutation. So come into a plank position and then slowly step the feet towards the hands and then reverse swan dive. The hands are at the top. The swan dive back down. Up to flat back. Exhaling, rounding at the back, planting both palms. Turn into plank position. Let's chaturanga down to an upward dog. Ooh. Okay, back to plank. Push up here into downward dog. All right, from here, we're going to find our crescent pose to a prayer twist. So feet together. And let's do the nose to knee variation this week. So starting with the right side, float the right leg into the air. And we'll touch it twice. So bring the knee to your nose. If you can make contact, great. If you can't, that's okay. Return the right leg up into the air. Knee to nose. One more time in the air. And then swing that right leg through and plant it in front. Once we're planted, let's bring the arms and torso up. Okay. That back heel should be up and off the mat, reaching for the ground. I definitely feel the left hip stretch out. Reach for the ceiling with those arms and hands. And then we're going to transition into our prayer twist. So bring the hands to Namaste at heart center. And then let's bring the left elbow into the right knee. Okay, hands are stacked. Right elbow is facing the ceiling. Ooh. We'll hold this one for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's return to our crescent pose, arms reaching up. And then exhale, bring the arms back down, plant both palms. Right leg comes back to plank, and let's chaturanga down or upward dog. That's sun salutation. So back to plank, step the feet towards the hands, and then reverse swan dive to the hands at the top. Ooh, let's swan dive down, up to flat back. Okay, exhaling, rounding at the back, planting both palms, back into a plank position. Let's chaturanga down, an upward dog, back to plank, push up here if you'd like, and into down dog. All right, we're going to do the knee to nose variation. So feet and legs together. Let's float the left leg up into the air. And then knee to nose. Second time, left leg up in the air. Bring your knee to the nose. Last time up. And let's swing the left leg and plant it in front. Bring the arms and torso up to crescent pose. Looking forward, no bend at the elbows, and that back heel is reaching towards the mat. Okay, bringing the hands to namaste at heart center, and transitioning to prayer twist. Ooh. All right, right elbow is pressed into the left knee. We're going to hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's exit, returning into crescent pose, arms reaching for the ceiling. And exhaling, let's bring the arms and torso down, plant both palms. Left leg comes back to plank. Let's chaturanga down into an upward dog. Ooh. Back to plank. Let's step the feet towards the hands for the sun salutation. Reverse swan dive. To the hands at the top. Ooh. Swan dive down. Up to flat back. And then exhaling, rounding at the back, planting both palms. Stepping back to plank position, and then we're going to chaturanga down to an upward dog. Back to plank, push up here if you like, and into downward dog. We're going to skip the knee to nose variation as we do our warrior movement. So we're back on the right, feet and legs together, floating the right leg up into the air. Oof. Let's swing it on through and plant it in front and come into warrior 1. Ooh, okay. Both heels are on the ground. Arms are reaching up for the ceiling. That front knee should be tracking over the front ankle. Going to warrior 2, arms front and back. Palms and arms parallel to the ground. Let's dip back into reverse warrior. Back to warrior 2. All right, let's do the triangle pose. So reach forward as far as feels comfortable with that rose right fingertips, and then drop the right hand down. Okay, or right fingertips or right fist, whatever feels comfortable. Left fingertips are reaching for the ceiling. See if you can turn your chin and look up. Okay, mentally prep yourself for the pretzel variation. I think I'm feeling it this week. Let's drop that left arm down. Oh, shoulders cracking. Hello, yard work. All right, see if you can rotate the left shoulder and chest a little bit more. We're going to hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release hands. Pop back up into Warrior 2. Let's dip back into Reverse Warrior. Back to Warrior 2. Swing that left arm forward and up for Warrior 1. And then as you bring your arms and torso down, that back heel comes up, plant both palms. Right leg returns to plank, and then chaturanga down. Upward dog. Okay, back to plank, and then step the feet towards the hands. And then reverse swan dive. Hands are at the top. Okay, swan dive down. Up to flat back. Exhaling down, planting both palms, stepping back to a plank position, and then chaturanga down into an upward dog. Back to plank, push up here if you like, and into downward dog. Settle with the breath. Okay, we're gonna repeat what we just did, but on the left. So feet and legs together. Let's float the left leg up into the air and swing it on through. Plant it in front. And come into Warrior 1 on the left. Okay, front knee tracking with the front ankle. Arms reaching up for the ceiling. Let's rotate into Warrior 2, arms front and back. Okay, make sure both palms and arms are parallel to the ground. And then we're going to dip back into a reverse warrior. Don't put too much weight on that back leg with the right hand. Back into Warrior 2. And let's find our triangle pose. So reach forward with the left fingertips. So you can reach no more. Drop that left arm down. Right fingertips reach up. Turning the chin and looking up. All right, let's drop that right arm behind the back for the pretzel variation. Ugh. Oof. See if you can open up the right shoulder and chest. And we're gonna hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Releasing the hands. Left palm finds the ground. Right arm reaches up. And let's pop back up into Warrior 2. And then let's unwind everything. So dipping back into Reverse Warrior. Ooh. Back to Warrior 2. Swinging that right arm forward up for Warrior 1. And then let's bring the arms and torso back down. Plank from home. Left leg comes back to plank. Let's chaturanga down. Do an upward dog. All right, back to plank. Let's step the feet towards the hands and then go straight into a chair pose. So drop your bottom down, arms reach up in line with your torso, palms facing one another. And keeping the torso where it is, straighten up your body, okay? Rotate, or not rotate, find your balance and your toes, the ball of your foot, get the heels up and off the mat. Okay. Feel your calves work for another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Gently lower the heels. Bring the hands to center. Now let's do twisting chair pose on the left. All right. It's just like crescent pose, but our feet are together. A little less balance, or balance required, I should say. Settle with the breath. Ooh, maybe bend your knees a little bit more if you can. It'll lower into it. All right, let's come back to center. And then let's straighten back up. Get off the heels. Palms facing one another. And we're reaching. Ooh. Ooh. Nice. All right, let's lower the heels back down. Hands come back to center. And then let's go into our twisting chair pose on our right. You can see how low you can get on this side as well. All right, let's come back to center and straightening up our body for a third time. Getting off the heels. Arms, hands reaching for the ceiling. All right, in 3, 2, 1, just slowly lower the heels down. Bring the hands back to center. Ooh, ready for a little tree action, and then we'll sit. I'm gonna start on our, let's do left first. So let's get 98% of our weight on our left leg. Get the right foot into position wherever feels comfortable for you. At the knee, below the knee, above the knee. Okay, if you want to keep your hands there, great. Add them up top, again, finding whatever works for you. All right, I'll exit in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the right leg out, shaking out the left ankle. All right, getting ready for the right side. So let's get 98% of our weight, on our right foot and our right leg. Bringing the left foot in. Adding the arms as needed. Woo! All right, we're gonna hold it for another 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring the left leg out, stretch out or bring out that right ankle, and then we're gonna have a seat. Oh, I'm gonna have a drink of water before we do our table. Oh, all right, thank you for waiting. So find your table position. You already know what to do here. Feet in front, palms behind, prop yourself up. Ooh. Oh. All right. See how far or how close you get your hips towards the ceiling. I was originally going to say how far you can push your hips away from the floor, but I guess it's the same thing. This one feels particularly good in the shoulders today, so we'll hold it for another 5, 4. Okay, active push. 3, 2, 1. Let's gently lower bottoms back down. Ooh. Let's get ready for bridge. I'm really taking my time today. Oh, so on our lower backs, our feet are still planted. And let's gently roll onto those shoulders. You can clasp your hands underneath you or keep your arms on the floor for support, whatever works best for you. We'll give you a nice active stretch. Okay, pushing the floor away evenly with the feet, pushing the hips up towards the ceiling. Your glutes should be rock hard, hamstrings working. Settling with the breath. Okay, one vertebra at a time, we're going to lower ourselves. So we're coming down, controlled, using those glute muscles. Hello. Okay. We're all the way down. Now we're going to stretch out the glutes. I'm going to keep that left foot planted. So find that figure four position with your right ankle onto your left quad, grabbing the left shin or the left hamstring. Okay, I already feel that stretch on my right glute. We're going to do 3 long breaths, relaxing the body in each exhale. So breathe into the nose, and long breath out. Okay, I'm still exhaling. Number 2, let's breathe in. And long breath out here. All right, one more time for this side. Breathe into the nose. Breathe out through the mouth. All right, let's release the left side. Let's find the floor with the right foot. Getting the left leg in position, making that figure 4. Grabbing the right shin. Whew, interlocking the fingers. Let's repeat those 3 breaths for this side as well. So breathe into the nose, and then out to the mouth. Oh, that left glute's starting to feel it now. Number 2, let's breathe in. And then long, controlled breath out. All right, last time, let's breathe in. And then long exhale. All right, let's release that right leg. Let's bring both legs up into the air for happy baby. So we're going to grab the outside parts of our feet or grab our big toes, whatever feels good to you. Pull in your knees towards your underarms. I already feel that on the inner thighs, but rotate side to side or rock side to side. Feeling your spine against your mat. Let's release tension in our spines while stretching those inner thighs. A little 2 in 1. Ooh. Okay. Let's release our feet, dropping the legs down to the ground. Let's do a supine twist. I'm going to move my items here. 1 second. Let's hug our right knee in, enjoying that little stretch there. All right, let's pull our right knee over to the left side of our body. Right arm extends out to the right. It's twisting the spine, looking towards the right. Whew. Okay, continue to breathe. Every time you exhale, maybe twist a little bit more. Another degree, half degree, quarter of a degree, whatever. As long as you feel an additional stretch, or rather releasing the tension in your spine. Okay, And then let's bring that right leg back to center. Oh, hugging the left knee and now enjoying that little stretch. Ooh. All right, let's pull the left leg over. Left arm extends out to the left. Ooh. Now we're feeling the spine twist in the other direction. Hello. Ooh. Nice. All right, let's bring that right leg back over. We're gonna sit on up for cat cow. Ugh. Maybe. Ugh. I'm gonna roll up my mat a couple times for my knees, but find the all fours position. And let's do 5 breath cycles. Untuck the toes before we do. So breathe in, bring the head and bottom up, press the chest down to the ground. And then exhale, round out the back, push the floor away. Inhale, head up. Ugh. Exhale, head down. Okay. Inhale, head up. Exhale, head back down. Inhale, head up. Exhale, head down. Okay. Inhale, head up. That should be number 4. Ugh. Exhale, head back down. Spine starting to loosen up. Even more. Let's do one more cycle. Inhale, head up. Ugh. Then exhale, head down. Ooh. All right, coming into a neutral spine. I'm gonna unravel my mat. Let's find our child's pose. So start by sitting on your heels, knees about as wide as your mat. I like to take a deep breath in. As you breathe out, come forward, arms in front of you, resting the head on the mat, forearms on the mat. Ooh. Settle with your breath. All right, let's do bonus side stretch while we're in child's pose. So I'm going to start on the right. So right arm goes out to the right. Stack our left hand over our right hand. And you should feel the stretch go all the way through your left side. Ooh. All right, and let's come back to the center or neutral position. And then let's reach out our left arm to the left. And extend our right hand over our left hand. All right. And let's come back to center. Let's just hang out here for a few breaths at your own pace. Think about everything you just did. See how your body feels. Let's Breathe in. And as you exhale, come forward out of it. Let's rotate onto our backs for corpse pose. Ugh. Ugh. Oh. Okay. Relax your arms down at your sides. And close your eyes here. But I want you to scan your body, see how you feel. Uh, the 60 seconds will start in 3, 2, 1. And that was about 60 seconds. So reach your arms overhead. Point the toes at the bottom. Give me a nice morning stretch. We don't know what that means at this point. Oh, wriggle side to side. Make all the groaning noises you need to make, except that you have to get up and start your day. And then roll on to one side. Doesn't matter which. Rest your head on your hands. Just settle into your mat for a moment or two. Ugh. And whichever arm is on top, plant that palm on the ground, and push yourself up. And let's return cross-legged position. Oh, right. Rub your eyes, not accepting that we have to be awake, dealing with the day, the week. All right. Anyhow, so let's lengthen our spines. Close your eyes if that's comfortable, and let's do our 3 audible breaths. So breathe in through the nose and breathe out with some sound. Number 2, let's breathe into the nose and breathe out with some sound. Last time here, breathe into the nose and breathe out with some sound. Bring your hands to Namaste at heart center. Repeat after me if you wish. May you have clear and kind intentions. Let's raise our hands to our foreheads. May you have clear and kind thoughts. Bringing our hands to our lips. May you have clear and kind communications. Lowering our hands back to our hearts. And as always, the light in me celebrates and honors the light in you. Namaste, my friends. Learn to pause your watch.
Okay. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday. Time to get on the grid and off the grid.
Ah, goodness, they had their big Fort Mason thing this past weekend, so we're going to be settling up this week, I'm sure, whenever the operating manager gets everything together. It's very interesting seeing the backside of all this. I mean, it all makes sense, but it's kind of like Off the Grid is the general contractor, and then there's all the other little bits and pieces.
That you have to manage and bring together.
Yeah. Well, the operations people are, and then I just have to make sure that the right people are getting billed and paid.
Yeah, I mean that's accounting.
Yeah, that's accounting.
Really, you're the most important part. Because if we're not paying the people or getting paid by the right people, you're in trouble.
Yep.
Anywho,
Okay.
have a good one.
Yeah, thanks. See ya.